Namaste and Swagatam once again. Getting back to the subject matter of sense of self or self-knowledge or Atma Jnanam. You might wonder, what should I do now? Or what should I stop doing now? My answer is, don't do anything different. Simply listen with an open mind. See, there is a level of adhikaritvam, or a competency or qualification or readiness necessary even to gravitate towards this topic. There's a certain emotional and intellectual maturity that is necessary. In the Mundaka Upanishad, it says, Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedam ayat nastya kritah kritena tad vijnanartham saguru meva vikachet samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. In short, it speaks of the discerning, mature person who realizes that no amount of actions, no particular action or no combinations of actions can give him or her that permanent state of happiness. In other words, everything that is covered in dharma, artha and kama. So after this mature person realizes this, he or she, as a student, goes to a teacher who knows this Brahma Vidya. Saguru meva vikachet samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. And this teacher who knows Brahma Vidya, also called Atma Jnanam, which is the subject of Vedanta, teaches. And you may say, well, why should we go to this teacher and not just study this on our own? It's a difference in Sampradaya with Guru Shishya Parampara. This teacher did not come up with this knowledge, which can later on be disputed, or you can find it to be wrong and another person later on can prove it wrong. He got it from his Guru. And where did he get it from? From his Guru. And where did she get it from? From her Guru. Where did he got it from? From his Guru, and she got it from her Guru, and it comes down. None of them came up with this, because this knowledge is called apaurushaya. It is revealed knowledge. It is revealed from Brahman itself. So the source is not man. It is simply revealed to those who are at that level. Now you may ask, how do I become that mature person who will seek this knowledge? Or how does that relate to what I've been doing so far? Well, everything you're doing now is preparing you to bring you to that stage of readiness, or adhikaritvam. Your current religious practices of bhajan, kirtan, puja, japa, meditation, and the various other upasanas are definitely helpful. And more often, they are necessary to gain the emotional and intellectual maturity or qualifications to get you to this adhikaritvam. Your current religious practices of bhajan, kirtan, puja, japa, meditation, and various upasanas will result in antakarana shuddhi, as we say in poetic language, purity of mind. And that's what prepares you for Brahma Vidya or Atma Jnanam. So I'm not telling you to stop your religious practices. I'm only making you aware that there is more than religious practices in our great tradition. This great tradition has survived throughout the eons on those religious practices. And those religious practices in the end lead to this Shastra Rahasyam, or this secret knowledge of Brahma Vidya or Atma Jnanam that grants liberation or moksha. I want you to know that you are part of a tradition that has been responsible for the protection and propagation of this great secret since the time of Sri Krishna and before. Even Sri Krishna had a guru also. Even Sri Rama was taught this by his guru, Vasishtha, which is before the time of Sri Krishna. They were all born in this tradition, and this knowledge was already there. It was already given. It was apaurushaya, not made by any man. It was already there, open to those who are at that level to receive it. It makes a big difference from other traditions or as we say, religion that was formed or started by a particular personality, and that didn't exist before that person or that personality's lifetime. Not so in this Vedic tradition. This was always there. See, Sri Krishna said to Arjuna that he incarnated to revive this teaching in the Bhagavad Gita, this teaching that was partly forgotten by the masses. And since then, we have kept it going in secret from teacher to student, and parent to child. And this is the greatest secret that carries a great responsibility. And therefore, in the past, it was taught only to the well-selected few. As I mentioned before, unless you have that adhikaritvam or competency, even if you hear this knowledge, you will not remember it properly. And even if I give it to you, you will not be able to take it with you. It's like trying to take coals or fire back to your house by carrying it in newspaper. For example, New York Post or one of the other newspaper. If the vessel is not adequate, it will not carry it. You know, if you try to take the coals, live hot coals, on newspaper and take it back to your house, what will happen by the time you get around the block or you get out of the house? It will burn through. The vessel you're taking it in is not adequate enough to take it. For example, you may take clean water and pour it in a pot that is dirty. And what happens? That vessel, that pot, is already contaminated. So when you pour the clean water in, the water becomes polluted. So first you may need to clean the vessel. Let's look at the vessel as this mind, this buddhi, etc. You may need to clean the vessel. In other words, gain antakarana shuddhi, or internal purity. As I might have said earlier in poetic language, clean your mind, prepare your mind to get ready for this teaching. And that again is accomplished by your current bhajan, kirtan, puja, japa, meditation, and upasanas. So you continue your bhajan, kirtan, puja, japa, meditation, and various upasanas. They're definitely not a waste of time. And as you know, those karmas and rituals are an essential part of this great tradition. This tradition of Sanatana Dharma, this Vedic Dharma, which is now called Hinduism in this age. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.